I just think we as a society have gotten way too comfortable not using our brains. Like, what do you mean, where is this basic white tank top from? Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm Caroline, and in this video I want to talk about gatekeeping and whether it makes you an asshole or an active participant in the bettering of society. I love having conversations about this sort of stuff in person, but also online, so let me know all of your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's chat, let's get this discourse going. Of course, with any sort of conversation type of video, these are just my opinions. It's for fun, it's not to be taken too seriously, so I hope that you have fun watching it. Maybe subscribe if you want to, no pressure. I would never do that, but if you want to. Let's just get into it. I got my notebook here with all of my very professional script. I guess to start off, I'll define what gatekeeping even is, and while historically gatekeeping was someone who literally kept a gate and guarded people from entering spaces they weren't permitted to enter, but you know, fast forwarding to a more recent history of the term, it's used to describe someone who controls something or some information and decides the path that piece of information can take. In 2021, gatekeeping really made a place for itself in our current culture with the term gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss essentially becoming modern day scripture and at least every girl on Instagram's photo caption once. Maybe because majority of the online spaces I'm in revolve around fashion, but I feel like as of 2023 the term is most often associated with fashion, at least online, and so that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. I first started seeing gatekeeping used regularly on TikTok, whether it was a video critiquing people who participated in gatekeeping or it was the comment section of a video where someone was asking the creator where something they were wearing or an item in the video was from, and if the creator didn't reply almost immediately, they were then accused of being a quote-unquote gatekeeper. Not to brag, but I myself have actually been accused of being a gatekeeper on TikTok, yes. It was actually earlier this year I did an outfit of the day sort of get ready with me where I talked about this new top I had gotten off of Depop and I wanted to style it, and I understood when I got some comments about the top because, I mean, it was a really fucking cute top, and so some people wanted to know what the label was in the top, what the brand was, and I replied, or I had thought I replied. The brand of the top was virgin only, and I didn't know that TikTok, for whatever reason, censors the word virgin, which feels a whole other conversation and makes me feel uncomfortable and strange, but it was showing up on my end that I was replying, but I guess it wasn't showing up for anyone else because when I came back to the video a couple hours later, I had a whole slew of comments being like, not her liking the comment and not replying, she's being a gatekeeper, wow, this is shady. Someone called me a gatekeeping bitch, which I was like, okay. One of these things is true. And it's not that I'm a gatekeeper. Once I realized what had happened, I went in and replied with the censored version, but I couldn't help but be left with this bad taste in my mouth and also the urge to not even reply at all. Oh, you think someone being a gatekeeper is annoying? Well, imagine if you're actually trying not to be a gatekeeper, but there's this misunderstanding and you have all these people in the comments accusing you of being a gatekeeper, and how annoying that must be. I actually don't think I've ever, well, intentionally ever gatekept something from someone. I mean, I'm the person where if I get a compliment on something that I'm wearing, I'm going actively out of my way to tell you where it's from, even if you didn't ask. And since majority of the stuff I wear, I do get secondhand, I'll be like, oh my god, thank you, but I thrifted it, it's from this store though, and it's, you know, great, check it out, or I got it off of Depop and the label says this, and there are similar brands that do that, and so maybe that's why this particular situation felt like an extra deep cut for me. I will say it was the first time that I did actually kind of debate whether I wanted to gatekeep something or not, almost out of spite, honestly, which could be my Scorpio rising really showing there. It didn't feel like I was being asked where something was from, but instead was being demanded by people to tell them where it was from, and this sort of sense of entitlement that I was getting in the comments, and I've also seen in other people's comment sections where people think that they should be allowed to have access if they like something to the label or to the brand name or to the store or to a direct link. One of the main reasons that I will defend gatekeeping, though, is that I feel like it forces people to go out and try and develop their own sense of personal style. In a world where it seems like every fashion influencer has their very own Amazon storefront with 50 of their must-have items linked directly for purchase that you can also have directly delivered to your door sometimes the same day as purchase, I wouldn't say that patience is exactly this generation's strong suit. People want convenience, and they also want that instant gratification. I kind of mentioned this earlier, but I mean, if you don't reply to someone's TikTok comment within a couple of hours is pushing it. I mean, you have a job, you have a hobby, or you're eating, sleeping with friends, family, your dog, oh, your dog got sick and you have to take them to the vet and you have to put your dog down. I'm sorry, but also last time I checked, there is Wi-Fi at the vet. So you also just might not be chronically online, which I'm not coming for the chronically online community. I mean, hi, I'm one of you. If I showed my screen time right now, it's honestly probably a diagnosable mental illness at this point. It's alarming. Anyways, besides the point, people want answers. And people want answers now. On the one hand, this sort of accessibility is super great and convenient, but on the other hand, I think it's been really detrimental in making people just a bit lazy, and also this lack of originality. I know I'm not the only person who's been scrolling on Instagram and seen just the same item of clothing over and over again. I mean, let us never forget the House of Sunny Hockney dress situation of 2020. And what happened to those dresses? I'm still wondering. I mean, I can probably make an educated guess. Unfortunately, even without that direct link, it's still so easy to reverse Google search an image and find almost the exact item or one similar to it, and also key terms. I can't stress enough how much I love a key term. When my whole gatekeeping situation was going on, I mean, not only had I said in the TikTok the top that I was wearing was from Depop, but then with the censored stuff, I went in and replied with the censored brand, explained what happened, and I was also going in and telling people the key terms that I had first searched on Depop to find the top and that they could use as well, like vintage, Y2K, beaded graphic tee, and I kind of had to take this step back and be like, am I just doing my job right now and being a nice person? Which never in my life have I particularly thought of myself as a nice person, or am I allowing people to not critical think? Like, what happened to critical thinking skills here? Have we really gotten to the point where we are needing to be spoon-fed information? If you have access to TikTok, then you probably have access to Google, and Google search, I mean, such a great resource. I can't recommend enough. Such a big thing. When I see someone wearing something that I like, I can usually find the item in less than 5 minutes, or if it seems like something secondhand, I can find something similar to it. Now, this is just a personal preference, but one of the main reasons that I enjoy thrifting so much is because it really pushes me to think about the items that I'm buying and be intentional with my purchasing, and whether I actually like something beyond it just trending or a link that's really accessible for me to purchase something from. And if I think it aligns with my style and it's gonna last in my wardrobe and I'll get a ton of wear out of it. I don't feel like my personal style really started to develop until I made the switch to shopping secondhand like 95% of the time, which, I mean, whether I think fast fashion kills personal style or not is another topic for maybe another video on maybe another day. If you want it, let me know. I think it's been a real joint effort of both fast fashion as well as this current capitalist over-consuming hellscape that we're living in that has made it so that having an Amazon storefront linked with just 50 of the most life-changing items that you absolutely need in your life right now is being praised, while being, you know, maybe a gatekeeper who is just wanting people to venture out on their own and find their own items and maybe be more intentional with their purchasing is being demonized. Now look, I do get the side of the argument that's, you know, life is hard. People are busy. We're in a recession. Come on, cost of living crisis. I'm never gonna own property in California. I'm 25. It's like I've given up on that dream, unless I marry into it. But based off my taste in men, it's probably not not likely. My gripe is more so with the influencers who have chosen to use their influence to perpetuate this culture that really thrives off of overconsumption. Just the never-ending trend cycle that feels literally impossible to keep up with in any sort of ethical way unless you're actually a millionaire. And also, capitalism thrives when people don't gatekeep, and these influencers, I mean, it's how they pay their bills, is getting commissioned through these Amazon links or their Shein sponsorships, so why would they want to change? Capitalism says gatekeeping is bad, so gatekeepers are bad. Death by fire to all of the gatekeepers.
Death by fire to the gatekeepers now.
While I don't know if I'd consider myself an influencer, I don't know what I am. Okay, I don't even feel like a real person. Most of the time, I don't exist. You should probably just stop perceiving me immediately. I have thought about the ways in which I've contributed to these messages around fashion and consuming, and even if it is consuming secondhand, there is still a way to overconsume, and with the hauls and the look at this cute new thing that I got and what sort of message that's sending, and also the responsibility that I should feel for that message. I might not have the biggest audience, but I do still have an audience, and I take you guys seriously, and I take the time that you spend watching me and my content seriously, and this little parasocial thing that we got going on, and I always just want to keep it real. Some of what I feel is my best advice I can give to anyone who's into fashion like I am, and it's taken me a couple years to get here, and I don't know if it has to do maybe with like aging as well over the last couple of years. I'm now 25. I feel like I've matured into my like adult body. My brain is finally fully forming. I can make better decisions. I know more. I know all, actually. You should always listen to everything I say because I'm like the smartest person in the world. Obviously. I look at my closet as this sort of collection of items that takes time and effort to build. I like my pieces to have some character and also be good quality. I can wear them a ton and a ton of different ways. They have longevity, and in an ideal world, I would love if someone could come into my closet and look at it and be like, oh yeah, totally, like, that's Caroline. It's so fun for me to see something that someone is wearing and decide that I want to find my own version of it that kind of emulates the vibe. I have a whole list in my phone of items that I want to thrift, and going out and searching for them and just waiting until you come across the right one, and the feeling that I get, it's like this big accomplishment when I finally come across it, instead of the instant gratification that comes from when I just buy something through a direct link from Instagram. And this is just from my personal experience, but I found that those items that tend to have that meaning behind them last so much longer in my wardrobe, and I also don't feel like I fall victim to the fatigue that I can get from items that I buy that I've seen all over my Instagram. I can tend to, even if I don't wear the item a ton, just from seeing it on other people, I get over it a lot faster, and I don't like to think of my clothing like that. Maybe I just have severe attachment issues and put way too much emotional burden onto my clothing, but I do like to think of my clothing as an extension of myself. One of my favorite parts of every day is waking up and getting to decide what I want to wear for that day, and the power that I feel from putting together an outfit, and it's just special, and I cherish my closet and I like to nurture it because of that. Am I nurturing it more than my romantic relationships? That's none of your business. Why would you ask that? I'll text my therapist, it's fine. I'm literally fine. Overall, if you can, watch my content and leave ultimately feeling like you maybe want to navigate the world and the fashion space in a more sustainable way, then that's enough for me. I feel like I've done my job. That's the message I want to send, and whether gatekeepers are also trying to send that message or if they're just trying to be assholes, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not illegal to be an asshole, and we get the same results in the end. I want to talk about something that is illegal, though, is some of the ways in which these fast fashion factories are run. I guess with that, I can kind of transition into the last topic I want to talk about in this video, which is the way that gatekeepers, whether they are inadvertently doing it or not, are contributing more to climate change than, Greta Gerwig wishes. Yeah. No, totally, Greta Gerwig, that's what I meant to say. Yeah. Just 2023's greatest climate activist. Is it obvious that I just got done watching the Barbie movie and I'm in a state of Greta's. This one just happens to be Gerwig. I rewatched Little Women last night. This has nothing to do with this video, but also everything in my life has to do with Little Women because that is my favorite movie of all time. I think it's a cinematic masterpiece. Like, it changed film forever.
I just feel like women.
Greta Thunberg. Okay, gatekeepers are doing more for climate activism than Greta Thunberg ever could. Yeah. Not to make this the fear-mongering portion of this video, but fast fashion is currently the third largest polluting industry after food and construction. Throughout every stage of fast fashion, from garment manufacturing, harming wildlife, degrading land, contaminating soil and water, it's responsible for as much as 10% of global carbon dioxide emissions and is only projected to grow by more than 50% by 2030. Do I need a 401k? Like, realistically. Are we gonna make it there? Along with its amazing environmental impact, human rights violations that happen in these fast fashion factories, the documentary, The True Cost, I'll link it down below. It is not an easy watch, but I do think it's an important one if you haven't seen it. Everything in life has a cause and effect, and I think when wanting to try and be a better consumer, knowing where the things that you're consuming are coming from, and also being aware of the people that they're affecting, in this case, a lot of women and even sometimes children being exploited for the sake of fast fashion. Not that gatekeeping prevents fast fashion. I mean, someone could be looking for an alternative to a skirt that they saw their favorite creator wearing, and that alternative is from Zara. Thrifting doesn't always seem like an option if there's limited time or you just don't have access to a lot of good thrift stores, and so many of these sustainably and ethically run brands can be out of budget for a lot of people, and so I understand the appeal of fast fashion, which is why I don't want to come off as I'm judging. That's kind of just like my nature naturally, is to seem very judgy. Again, the Scorpio rising, the Capricorn moon, Aquarius sun. It all doesn't help. It's the overall culture of consuming, or lack thereof, that gatekeeping and gatekeepers encourage. Again, whether they're doing it intentionally or not, I just hope in the end it's a win if it means I never have to see a comment asking someone where their white tank top is from. Ever again. So on that note, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I think I got everything I wanted to say out. Hopefully, all my thoughts. I don't know, let me know your thoughts, of course, in the comments down below. I would love to hear them. I'm very interested. Like always, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you want more conversation sort of style of videos like this, that's another thing, you can just let me know. And with that, oh yeah, my camera battery is flashing that it's about to die, right on cue. I've been filming for hours. I'm profusely sweating. Turning off my air while filming this so there's no background noise while there's an excessive heat wave is I'm profusely pouring just sweat. Stay sexy, and I will see you next time. Bye.